Hello! It's a bit late in the day, but I've got a doctor's appointment in about an hour and a half, so I thought I'd start on the Bachelor Super Noodles, and I'm trying a limited edition one first because well, I thought I'd start with something a little odd. I've got a lot of these though. I'm going to try and do 2 of them a day because I've got those. These are the low fat ones. And those. So, yeah. I'm getting through them though. I've got quite a few packs still to eat, but hopefully I'll get some more when I go shopping next. I'm going to see if my uncle can give me a lift to a Sainsbury's instead of a Tesco, see what ones they've got. That's in the bowl. I'll angle it a bit, but it smells very different. It's definitely got a beefy smell to it, but with a slight sort of an earthy smell, a bit like a rabbit hutch, which is weird. Oh, bloody tripod. There we go. Don't you just looking at my chest? If I was big boobs, maybe that would be an attractive thing, but being that I'm a sort of tubby white guy, I can't say I'm going to get many followers just for my big boobs. There was a woman who did tech support on one of these things, and it was good tech support, but on one of the channels, but she looked so gorgeous. It was a little bit like, you know, when you're having those movies where someone is saying something and literally like a love heart comes around them, and all you do is look at them, and what they're saying just seems to fade away into the background. But it's quite helpful when I had to look up about switching to 8.1 on Windows. Yeah. I keep getting a bloody adverts for Windows 10, but I don't want to go on Windows 10. It was a big enough transition going to Windows 8, and 10 you can't mod things, so it's a little bit of a poke in the eye to gaming. You might as well not have games on modern PCs. Just have them on consoles or that sort of attitude. You know, because people do like to mod things. I used to mod The Sims 2 and 3 a lot. Because, particularly The Sims 2, because I liked having a town full of different styles of houses. Everything from real sort of run-down sort of I had the house from Fight Club, the Paper Street house, but also I had massive palaces and the Playboy Mansion. Yeah. I'd love to have the Hugh Hefner lifestyle. It's part of the reason why I do the lottery. I'd love that sort of jet setting thing where if you're bored one day you can just say, right, we're going to Thailand for the weekend, or we're going to Vietnam's where I really want to go on holiday. Especially after watching that Top Gear special where they were on the motor scooters. That's a place that I'd really want to. Well, I've been to Cuba as well, which was very nice. No Americans. Not knocking the Americans. I know I follow Americans on Twitter, but there is a percentage of the bro, you know, can't face any form of criticism of their country, even the suggestion that maybe having a national health service is a better idea than only something like 70% of the population having medical cover. Oh, yeah, it smells like steak and ale pie. I'll get off the political bandwagon for a while. Yeah. The noodles are like your standard sort of super noodles. I think I've underdone them a little bit as well. But, yeah. Bloody tripod snagging and things. There we go. Like that sort of slightly sideways look, like that bloody awful film Battlefield Earth, which I saw in the cinema. Yeah, I really put my money where my mouth was on that one, because I knew it would be a pretty stupid film anyway, because L. Ron Hubbard, he could make a religion, but he certainly couldn't write dialogue. And I quite like, I've forgotten his name. No, it's completely gone out of my head again. John Travolta. I quite like John Travolta, particularly in The Punisher. He was really good as a bit of a sort of weak mob boss who basically his wife walks all over him. Strangely, he kills her at the end, but yeah, he's a bit of a lightweight. You know, he meets with drug dealers and they sort of make a mockery of him in the end. And my glasses are steaming up. This is very, very hot. Yes. But like I said, I'm trying to get this done in a hurry because I've got to have a quick bath, wash my hair, and then walk down to the doctor's surgery, which is about 1.5 miles away. But yeah, 20 past 5. That's when I've got to be there by. Oh, come on, come here. I found that the weakest parts of Battlefield Earth were just the most stupid parts, like Earth's main weapon system of mass destruction is nuclear weapons, and they didn't try and use them on the aliens. I'm like, Jesus Christ, their atmosphere reacts badly to radioactive isotopes, and they didn't try and use nuclear weapons. A little bit unlikely, that. Especially since people will probably go, oh yeah, but nuclear weapons are technology and missiles and things. No, they're not. There's conventional nuclear weapons that are fired by cannon now. The depleted uranium casings are a nuclear weapon. They are depleted uranium from inside a radioactive core. And they explode exactly like a nuclear explosion. And they leave the same amount of isotope in the ground. And no one used depleted uranium against aliens. Bit unlikely. You know, I suppose the argument would be, oh well, they didn't really use them back in 2002. Really? They used them in the Gulf War. They've been experimenting with depleted uranium since the late 70s. I think it's just bad writing. I think it would have probably been a better plot line if and it would have added a lot more gravitas to the story if it turned out that one of the major powers, like either America or China, had tried to deal with the aliens secretly, a bit like the X-Files, and betrayed a lot of countries, and that betrayal is what brought down mankind. Not all your weapons couldn't last 15 minutes against us when we came along. Just bad writing. Mm. And it was incredibly cheesy, and the one thing that really I found really maddening was the aliens' guns were literally just handguns with a few bits added to them. You know, they weren't really very good. They looked a bit Blake 7. These are quite good. The flavouring doesn't really cover the noodles that well. I'd give it a 10. It's worth a look if they're still on special offer, but I wouldn't go out my way to look for these. Yeah, they taste good, but they're just not. There's nothing really amazing about them. You know, if I was a noodle firm and I wanted to create something really wacky, I'd just at random choose different flavours, like chocolate cake flavoured noodles or pina colada flavour, um, and release them to the public. And you know, literally like throwing things out and seeing which one sticks. Because I remember that back in the 90s when they first brought out Marmite flavoured crisps, and they thought that, oh, no one's going to eat these, and they became so popular that they brought them back as Snacker Jacks. I love them. I love Marmite. Marmite's a bit like Bill Maher. You either love it or hate it. Or American football. Which, as sports go, I find American football is the most overrated of the lot. Even more overrated than soccer. Or British football, if we're going to be pedantic. It hasn't. It's portrayed as this big macho game, but it's less macho than rugby. And rugby's all about the gentleman spirit. That you'll do rough things, but you won't intentionally hurt each other. But American football just seems to be loads of blokes in pads trying to injure each other. And it seems pretty stupid, really. I think the reason why American football's never really took off in Britain is because we really don't have that spirit of wanting to be the winners all the time. You know, that sort of petty victory seems to be really sort of out of favour nowadays, which I think is a positive. I don't see it as a negative. Yeah, it's definitely got an ale aftertaste. It's not a strong ale though. It's not like Rusty Screw or Dog's Bollocks real ale. Now, 10 out of 17. Anyway, I might do another one tonight because I haven't really got anything planned for tomorrow, so I'm still just waiting for any word from my company. I used to drink gallons of cherry coke when I was a child. I remember when cherry coke first came out in Britain, and it was in a can that was white with crimson writing on it, and the cans were 20p each, and I'd get about £1 pocket money a week from my mum, and I'd spend 20p a day when I was walking home. Instead of going my normal route, I'd go up to my shops, East Hampstead shops, buy a can and walk home drinking it. But oh god, it was like cocaine for me. It was like I just couldn't stop drinking the stuff. But yeah, I remember with the product line as well. I suppose it would be gold dust on eBay, but there was a Coke can of cherry Coke that if you, I don't know what you had to do, so many cans or something like that, or some sort of competition, and it was a transformer, and it turned into a robot. It wasn't an Autobot or a Decepticon or one of the GoBots, the Renegades and the Guardians. It wasn't any of that. It was just a clever gimmick. But cherry Coca-Cola, I used to drink gallons of the stuff. But then in the late 90s, they brought out lots of other flavours like lemon Coca-Cola, which I liked even more. And eventually they brought out a zero version of cherry Coke, and I drink that now. Because the other one I quite like is cherry Pepsi Max. It's very good. It's very refreshing, especially on a hot day. Like when I was at that car place at the weekend, coughing to cover up farts, I had a bottle of that in the car, and it gave me a little bit more of a kick, because it's not ridiculously high in caffeine, but there's caffeine in it, and it does wake you up. Yeah. Anyway, steak and ale out of the way. I've got about another, I think it's about 10 different flavours to try. And I'll see you later.